Welcome to another screencast of Code One Digest. Today in this video, we will learn various HTTP methods and response codes with the example and some tools. I will also run a web application and demonstrate the use case of different HTTP methods and response codes. So in this screencast, I will be talking about various HTTP methods available as a part of HTTP 1.1 and respective response codes. So stay tuned till the end of the video. Okay, let's start. So what all different HTTP methods we have? HTTP method defines a set of methods to take desired action on a resource. As we know that everything is a resource and we access those resources through URL. Hence HTTP has defined certain methods to access those resources or to perform certain operations on those resources. These request methods are sometimes also referred as HTTP verbs. The set of common methods part of HTTP 1.1 specifications are get, head, post, put, delete, connect, option, trace, and few more. Okay, so let's begin with get method. The get method is used to retrieve information from the server through URL. The request using get should only retrieve data and should not affect the data on the server. Okay, let's begin with the demo now. I'll show you how can we call get URL and how can we see the response and the response code. For that purpose, I have written a contract. It is a get mapping. That means it is a get contract where it is taking user as a path variable input. And in this method, I'm reading that path variable as a string and doing nothing much over there, just printing that user and returning the same user with the hello string. So this is my get contract, and we'll use the Postman tool to fire this get contract. I have already created some contracts for this demo. I'll open this contract. So here we can see these are the method listed. All supported methods are available in this list, in this dropdown. We have selected get, and then I have given that contract here, localhost 8080 guest user, and this is the name of that user, Pawan. We need not to worry about header. Nothing is there in header and nothing is there in body. We just fire this request and see what response we get from the server. Here we go. So we got response code of 200. That is okay. It is successful response code. And we got a response string as a hello Pawan. That is what is server is returning for this get request. That means this get, we have called the get method and we have received the response from it successfully. So now we learn head method. Head method is same as get method, but it transfers the status line and header section only. It returns a response without a body. So when we fire a URL with the head method, then we just receive a header part of in the response. We don't receive body in that response. We'll see a demo now. So as we see in a previous demo, we fired it with a get method. Now what we do is we'll just change the method here from get to head and just fire it. You will note that we haven't received anything in the body, but we still have a data in a header. We got the data in the header, but we don't have any body as such. So there may be use case where we just want to receive header response, header parameters to know what it contains, what are the configuration we have, like content type, content length, and so on, date and connection status, etc. So we can use head method for it. Okay, let's begin with the next method. We have post method. Post method is used to send data to server, that is to create customer information, to upload a file, or to create any object on the server side using a HTML forms. Let's see in a demo. I have created a post mapping method where the endpoint is create user, and in this method I'm accepting a request body, and that request body accepting data in form of demo user object. So what is there in this demo user? If we open this demo user, we have two attributes defined in this demo user. One is the name as a string and age as integer. So when we receive data for that user, I am just printing that user information, and then we may call service or business layer classes or repository layer classes to perform operation on that user, and then returning a response that user is created. Let's see that in Postman. So in Postman, now we are using this contract with the post method and having localhost 8080 with that endpoint create user. Here we have a header attribute that is content type application JSON because we are sending a data in form of JSON object. Here we have a JSON, and we have defined two attributes, that is name and age, as we see that in a demo user object. Name as Pawan and age as 32. Let's see what happens when we fire this. Yep, we receive a 200 response, and response string says Pawan user is created. In header, if we see, we have all those regular attributes in a header. That means we are successfully able to call post contract through a post method. Okay, so before we proceed, many people may have a query on what is this Postman tool. So the Postman is a API development tool. We call it application programming interface development tool, which help us in building and testing and modifying APIs. We can perform many operations in that tool. We can use various methods, HTTP methods to form our HTTP request, and we can explore the response, what we receive as a part of response, be it JSON or XML with the response code and the size and the time taken by server and overall round trip time and etc. So this is a very useful tool. If you want, I will create a separate video. We can do many more things in this tool. We can create test suite. We can run all our contract testing of all our contract in this tool. Now next we have put method. Put method is used to update the state of the resource on the server. It updates the current state of the target resource with the uploaded content. So what we do in a put is we define a put mapping, and then we have a separate endpoint that we call it update user. And again, we are capturing that information as in a form of request body in the same demo user object where we have name and age defined. As I receive an input, I am printing that user information, user.getName and user.getAge, and then we can call the service or business layer or repository layer to update that user in our repository, and then returning back a message that user is updated. Let's see that in Postman. I have selected a post method here and I'm calling this contract localhost 8080 update user with the same user Pawan and age 32. I can modify that age to let's say 33 and fire that query. Now we receive a response with 200 as a response code. That means that request is served successfully and with the method with the message our user is updated. Now next we have delete method. Delete method is used to remove resource from the server. It removes all the current representation of the target resource given by that URI on the server side. Let's see how we implemented it. So we have delete mapping and we have defined a delete endpoint, that is delete user and the user name. Here we are accepting input as a path of, in a form of path variable and accepting user in form of string. We are printing that input user that we are deleting user, and then we can call our service layer, business layer, or repository layer to perform the delete operation on our repository, and then returning a message that user is deleted. Let's perform that operation in Postman. We'll load that delete contract. So here I have selected the delete method and I'm calling that endpoint localhost 8080 delete user with the name Pawan. It is similar to get method where we don't have anything into header or body. We just call this URL and here we receive a 200 response with the message that Pawan is deleted. That means we are able to call delete method in our application. The next method that we have is options method. This method describes the communication options available for the target resources. What does it mean? Let's see that in Postman. In Postman, we selected the options method and then we are using our get contract to see what all options are available with this get contract. So let me fire this. You see, we haven't received anything in a part of body, but in header, you will see one allow attribute is added and it says what all operations are available or options are available for this contract. We can do get, we can do add, we can do options on this contract, and rest of the header parameters are the same regular header parameters. So this is also useful uh, contract or method where we want to know keep this particular endpoint supports how many different types of methods. Okay, let me summarize what we have covered in this video so far. So we have seen what all different HTTP methods we have. We have understood the usage of those HTTP methods, and I have explained different HTTP methods like get, head, post, put, delete, options, etc. We have also seen a Postman tool. How can we use a Postman tool to test our APIs, to test our different HTTP methods and their response code. In the next video, I'll cover what all HTTP response codes we have and the usage of those response code, and I'll also show you a demo of the response code. So stay tuned for my next video on this, and I will share the link of that video in the description. You can also visit that video directly from the description box. Please do like and share this video with your friends and colleagues, as this is very useful information for beginners and software engineers. Please subscribe to my channel, Code One Digest, for more technology related videos. Thank you.